So, as I sit here, because this thing keeps constantly coming up, and I'm, eating a snack. I've been working on my, trying to get my health in order. It's coming along okay. I'm seeing commentary and people like, I've lost respect for Will Smith and blah, 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 blah. And then there's people like, well, Chris Rock, he's been a jerk the whole time and this and this and this. Now, in my previous video, I said they both were wrong. Per usual on the internet, you're seeing people take sides and take it to heart. And then there's people going in about Jada and how Jada is a bad person and blah, 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 blah. And then it's, no, it was a joke. It was about her being bald. He didn't say anything specific. First off, a lot of people need to learn the difference between what's called a direct insult and an indirect insult. You don't have to say or point at somebody and say the exact thing to do that. Now, we're also talking about Chris Rock, who people are like, Chris Rock's a legend, the best. Like I said, I am a fan of both of these people and their work. Chris Rock had Louis C.K., it was Seinfeld and somebody else, and you could probably go find the clip yourself, but basically, almost all of them except for Seinfeld was saying the N-word and stuff like that, and he was just goating it along. Yeah! But people aren't bringing it up. Then people are bringing up the thing about Will Smith saying a bald joke to an actual person who chose to be bald from like 30 years ago or whatever, 25, 30 years ago. You have Jim Carrey saying he was suing for $200 million. Even though then, well, first off, that's insane amount of money. I do get that Jim Carrey has been abhorrent to violence and actually torpedoed or helped to torpedo Kick-Ass 2 because of the tragedy of Sandy Hook, made him change his outlook on violence and certain things. Fine. First off, $200 million is excessive, number one. Number two, it's also funny how people seem to ignore that Chris Rock, this is not the first time Chris Rock has came at Jada Pinkett Smith. However, my major point is, when I'm seeing people say he should have had his Oscar taken away. Why? What does his performance, and they're like, and they gave him a standing ovation, so they all say that violence is okay. He won the Oscar for doing his job. That thing that happened at the Oscars, which was messed up, him getting up and slapping them and stuff, has nothing to do with him getting his award. Because Will Smith still did the job to earn that award. And I'm noticing all these people are on their high horses. I abhor violence, and I do this, and I do that, and I would have did it this way, and I would have did it that way. And Will Smith should be ashamed. He should be out of Hollywood and all this. Okay. So this video, I finally figured out what I'm going to call it. Get off your high horse. Chris Rock made a joke. Now, you might sit there and say, well, it was just a joke about bald people. And I've noticed people did this narrative, but G.I. Jane is a strong woman. That's not why he made that joke. You're reaching. And how I know that's not why he made that joke? Because go back in the Oscars in 2016 and watch his set. He goes after Jada Pinkett for whatever reason. Now, do I think that joke merited to have the taste slapped out of his mouth? No. But then there's some other factors that come into play. Will Smith felt that that's how he needed to defend her. Now, just because you don't condone it doesn't mean that you're also right on your feelings. Reason why I'm saying that. For one, I want people to get off their high horse in this aspect because the way I'm seeing them talk, they're talking like they've never had an emotional outburst. which most people, especially in today's day and age, yes, you have. Where you've done something embarrassing or done something as an outburst or something. And there may be a few on here that haven't, and you're like a minority of the many. But no, people have had emotional things, or they've had something happen. It's happened to me. It's happened to anyone. Chris Rock said stuff that was embarrassing, and Jada did not like it. Because that bald joke was taken, and as you see, some people see it this way. So that means that it does. Just like people need to understand that just because you vote one way, other people vote the other way. It was taken that he was making fun of her alopecia and her baldness. Now you can go, well, it was baldness and that's just how it has to be, and he needs to just accept it. No, actually he doesn't. People could go, oh, it's his job or something. No, you don't need to accept what a comedian says just because you're at a show. Get that through your head. You don't need to accept anybody talking and disrespecting you. However, you have the choice to make how you're going to respond. But with this whole, I would have responded this way. Well, you don't know what emotional charge or what things led there. Or the fact that maybe Will Smith knew about 2016 and he was tired of her. Maybe Jada was. Or maybe this thing happened. Or maybe there was things we don't know about that happened in the background. There's a lot of factors that came into play. And the fact that I'm seeing people say, I've lost all respect for Will Smith. Why did you have respect in the first place? He's a human. Overall, he's been a good guy most of his life. Has he not? Has he not? So now, he has one bad moment. Disrespectful bad moment. A nasty moment. That wipes away all the good he's ever done. It's funny. I've worked in service industry and stuff. And they do say that. People they won't remember all the good you did, but they always hold on to the negative. And I find that interesting that now celebrities are using this time, some of them, to put the shine on them so they can say what they think of the thing and how it is. And, well, I think Will should have did this, or maybe it did this. And then there's some who agree. Here's how this works. If you don't like what Will Smith did, that is completely okay. You're not wrong. If you like what Will Smith did because you felt it was justified, that's also okay. Not wrong. Because people have to live by the consequences of the choices that they make. If he felt like someone was going after his loved one and this guy kept talking, here's something funny. It's the saying. Violence isn't always the answer, but it is an answer, and it's an effective one. And I got a funny feeling, after 2016 and that, Chris Rock is not going to say nothing about Jada anymore. Now, could that have been a conversation? Could that have been something? Yes. But that's not the way this went down. But I'm seeing all these people on this crazy high horse about how they're completely disappointed in Will Smith and they don't respect him anymore. And they think, and I'm like, so all these years you respected him. He did something that's actually out of character for him. It could have been something with Jada. It could have been anything. But let's put that aside. Let's put that over on the side, right? So Will Smith is now a terrible human being that has lost all your respect and that you can never support again and you can never be around or look at or anything again because of the one moment. So every time he's made you laugh or said something deep felt or heartfelt or put on a performance or said something deep in a lesson or going through all these things and all this stuff, all these years you have followed Will Smith since he was a teenager. Apparently, since a lot of you keep talking like you've been a fan of him since you were a teenager, or maybe in his 20s, or maybe you came along in his 30s, whatever. All of these years, because he had this one moment that was not a good look, and he had something, and he had a moment of wrong place, wrong time, maybe wrong way to handle something. You wipe away all that good that he's ever done, all the charity work he's done, the inspirational stuff he's done, the things he's done to people and everything. Because of that one moment, now it's all gone. That's pathetic. It's different if he was a troublemaker all the time. It was different if he'd done this all the time. He had a bad moment. And it is okay to say, yo, that was messed up. But I don't agree with people saying he needs to lose his Oscar and Hollywood's a bunch of phonies because they still respected the work that he did to get to that point through all these years. No. And I just don't see it that way. I mean, y'all can tell me if you see something different. I don't see it that way. I think the Oscar, he deserves his Oscar. He put the work in to get that Oscar, and he's to get it. Now, when people also keep going, why wasn't he arrested? Why wasn't he put in jail? Because Chris Rock didn't press charges. So, the person who got assaulted decided that he did not want to pursue. Well, when that happens, charges don't get pressed. And they weren't going to remove him from the thing because the fact that it was about to come up next and it was too short of time. But all this whole, I can't believe Will Smith and Jada and cheated on him, even though it was at a point in time they were separated, and it's even said in his book, and they've said it multiple times. But somehow people seem to keep missing that part, that they were separated, they weren't together when she was getting with other people and him getting with other people. At the end of the day, if Jada felt it being one way. And I'm also getting tired of seeing these guys go, well, I'm an alpha male, and I'm an alpha male does this. You ain't ish. Because you don't know what you are in that situation. You know why? And a lot of people that keep saying the woulda, shoulda, couldas. Guess what? Name the last time you were at an award show that was in front of live studio audience and a person that you felt possibly was insulting your loved one that has actually done this before. Now, I am not saying that Chris Rock had the malicious intent. Would I pick up on it? I think he did. But maybe he wanted it, he didn't mean it to that level. And like I said, was it an overreaction? Possibly. But I bet he won't say Jada's name again after 2016. And after this. They could have talked it out, sure. Maybe that's not what Will felt needed to be done. Now, hopefully, here's what I hope happens. Denzel produces the film, Chris Rock writes it, and Will Smith stars in it. They all get along. I'm talking about just any movie. And they move forward beyond this. That's my true hope. They all work this out. They figure it out. They go, look, man, this is what's going on. This is how crazy this is. Bop, 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 bop. They both need to face apologize to each other. Because whether people are like, it's just a joke. Guess what? There's a reason why workplaces and stuff say, hey, you can't say certain stuff. Because you might say something as a joke. Okay? Go and watch Peacemaker, where he thought something was lighthearted and did not realize how much it actually affected a person. Sometimes what you think is okay is not okay. It depends on how the person takes it. People need to start thinking beyond their faces. I see too many people saying what they think is okay, and that's the end all be all. And that's not really the case. It's more to it than that. You see it one way, you gotta also try to look at it. You remember that saying, hey, walk a mile in someone else's shoes? Well, I've taken that to heart, and I tried to do it. But it seems like people don't want to do it in this particular situation. They want Will Smith to be the bad guy. They want him to be terrible. And they don't want him to grow from it. Everybody needs to get off their high horse and acting like they wouldn't do something. Or they've never been out of pocket before. Or never have actually done something that was out of character. It's a mistake. It happens. Will Smith apologized for it. He apologized on social media. And maybe when they get face to face, they could talk about it. But everybody getting on these high horses and saying, oh, I lost all respect for Will. Will is terrible. All this stuff. You were never respecting Will in the first place. Because you got to love somebody in their highs. If you're going to be into somebody on their highs, you got to get with them on their lows. Now, it's different if they do, criminal acts or something. But this is a low for Will Smith. But if you had all that before, one moment, one act out of character, out of anger, for whatever reason, out of something that someone has insulted his wife, whether you like it or not, that he felt that's an insult. It's an insult. You need to deal with it. You can be like, well, I think it was just a joke. That doesn't matter. They took it as an insult. And this is not the first time Chris Rock has came at his wife. And that's another part people need to remember. So they both need to come together, hopefully, and talk it out like grown men. But these people saying they don't respect him now, they've lost all respect. It's terrible. Like, you were never really a fan of his in the first place. Because you shouldn't just love somebody when they're up. You should also love them for their mistakes and imperfections. Because Will Smith, just like every other one of you, ain't perfect and is a human. Just like me. I'd love to hear what y'all have to say. Geek Protagonists, you stay safe, you stay healthy, you stay real. See ya. Also, can we please stop saying that this puts back black people or their role models? They're humans. And I'm hoping in the end, as you've seen the images on this video, that this is where they get back to. They fix this, they've known each other for a long time, and this will be a hiccup in their friendship. And they can grow and move forward.